Hello there, Marchers and gamers alike. My name is the Drum Major, and welcome back to another episode of TOT, This One Time. I bet y'all thought I would never make another one of these videos, huh? I thought I wouldn't make one of these videos ever again either. But, as it turns out, I'm in the mood to talk about my love life, or the lack thereof. One of the main reasons why I want to talk about this is probably because I've been binging videos by a YouTuber by the name of Domix. A lot of you probably know who he is. He's talked about life experiences a lot, and I even found him because of his breakup series. So, I don't know why, I just started binge watching his entire breakups thing. I started watching his videos, and I just felt like, you know what? I kind of want to talk about my non-existent love life, because whenever I tell people this fact, the fact that I have never been in a relationship, a lot of people are actually very surprised about that. I mean, I have had crushes in my life, but I've never really gone through with those crushes or those feelings, and I've never ever actually had an official girlfriend. So I guess I'm just going to talk about my life experience and where I stand now as it comes to relationships. First and foremost, when I was very little, I really did not have much interest in trying to find a partner. This counts for like kindergarten through, let's say, 5th grade. Yeah, let's go like preschool to intermediate, middle school era. I didn't really care about finding someone to reciprocate feelings for. I wasn't trying to look for anyone in a relationship. But when I got to middle school, that's when things started to change because, of course, I matured a little bit. I went through puberty, and I started having feelings for some people. My longest crush, we'll call her Teresa, I actually still have feelings for, but ever since we graduated high school, we haven't really talked much. The last time we hung out was for a day last summer, and both of us are really busy. I'm busy with work, she's busy with work, I'm also busy with school, so we don't really have time to meet up. But the one time we did, it was fun, and we wanted to try to do more stuff. I tried to coordinate with her again to see if we could get something else set up, like going to a amusement park or something, but unfortunately it never happened, and we haven't really talked since. That's something I've realized about this crush in particular. I still have feelings for them, but I'm still debating whether or not I should just let it go and move on, because we haven't really interacted much outside of high school. Before we continue on with that, let's get back to how I even met this person. So back in 7th grade, there was a lot of new people that I didn't know about. There was obviously some people that I knew from intermediate school and before, so that was nice to have those friends, but I obviously met more people, and one of these people was Teresa. Teresa was an incredibly talented artist, so that's something that immediately piqued my interest, and I was wondering if she could teach me how to draw, because I am horrible. And she gave me some lessons, she gave me some tips on how she draws, and I feel like this is really when my interests in her kind of took off. I mean, I had always been close with her ever since I first talked with her. She was a nice girl. It was a little difficult. See, that's the thing. I really don't even remember how our friendship became a friendship. All I know is that I really started having feelings for her when she taught me how she draws. And I don't even remember if I ever told her how I felt. That's something that's very, very frustrating. The fact that I don't know if I even told this person how I feel about them. I remember getting them a Christmas present one time. I remember getting them, like, earrings or something. I can't exactly remember, but it was some type of jewelry. And I still forget if I even outright said I liked them. But one way or another, they wound up telling me that they actually wanted to get a sex change when they grew up. So, me as a young, impressionable Christian boy trying to be a good follower of the Lord Jesus Christ, kind of threw out my feelings. I kind of threw my feelings out the window. I still really enjoyed hanging out with her, So we still had a very solid friendship. It was a little rocky at the end of 7th grade because I said something that I should not have. I don't want to get into details about that, but basically I said something. She didn't like the thing I said, so she wound up kind of cutting it off for the rest of the year, and I was half expecting to completely lose this friend. But the following year, in 8th grade, she actually approached me and asked me how my summer was, and it was a little shocking to find out that they weren't actually holding a grudge and that they did actually enjoy my company. So I told them that it was good, I told them about it, and pretty much we immediately picked up where we left off as friends. So that was nice. I've known them at this point, let's see here, 7th, 8th, 9th. I've known them for almost a decade. I've known them for 8 years, I want to say. I'm going into my junior year of college. So it's been a good long time since I've known them, and at this point, like I said, I still have feelings for them. I'm kind of scared to tell them, though. I'm a little scared to tell them because I don't know how they'll take it. Like I said, I don't even remember if I even told them my feelings and if they denied them or not. But the last time we hang out together, I still felt like there was something, and I felt like maybe she felt the same way. As far as I can tell, she still wants to get a sex change. She hasn't talked about it ever since the first time she told me. But honestly, at this point, now that I've matured a little bit, all I can say is, I don't care. They're an incredible person, and I've never met anyone like them before. I've never felt as strongly about someone as I have this person, and if they want to get a sex change, and I'm in a relationship with them, I will support them wholeheartedly because it's their body. They can do what they want. And I'm still going to enjoy company with them because they are just an incredible person. And if they want to make changes to their body to make them happy, I wholeheartedly support that. That's another thing. Since I've never been in a relationship, I don't really know how they work. I also don't know what I'm looking for in a relationship. I don't know what I'm into. I don't know what I'm looking for in a partner. I don't know what I like, what I dislike. All I know is that I've never really met any other girls like Teresa. And it's difficult to pinpoint why I like her so much, but that's just the case. I do. So with my main crush out of the way, I can talk about what I thought was going to be my first relationship. We'll call this other person Marisa. And Marisa, we went to the same church together. I had known her pretty much ever since I first moved to where I live now. I've known her since the 2nd grade, and she's a very nice girl. We were friends for the longest time. We went to Sunday school together. We went to church together. Our parents knew each other. And eventually I worked up the courage to tell them that I liked them. And she said, I think I might like you too, but I'm not willing to explore it because my parents won't let me date until I'm 18. This was when she was 17, so she agreed that once she turns 18, we could try to get into a relationship. So for the longest time, I was very excited. I was showing her my compassion and my caring for her. We were staying friends. We were texting a lot, and almost a year to the day I told her how I felt, her friend actually wound up texting me and saying, she's not into you, back off. So I asked her about this, and Marisa said, yeah, that's true. I kind of feel awkward. I don't think I'm ready to actually explore a relationship. And I didn't try to stay on or anything. I completely respected it, and I only wish that they would have been more honest with me through the start, because they had led me on for almost a year. And this actually made me very, very depressed. This was around my sophomore year of high school, I want to say. And when this hit me, I was already kind of in a deep slump, and I just wound up plummeting. Yeah, sophomore year was a rough time for me. That was the deepest, that was my lowest point in life. And I will openly say that my sophomore year, I did attempt to kill myself. But it was one and done, and as soon as the attempt failed, I was like, I started crying, and I thought to myself, why the hell did I try to do that? Why in the world would I try to do that? I was still depressed. I was still very, very down on my ego. I had very low self-esteem. I still had friends that I talked with, but including Teresa. But for the most part, I was just in a very bad headspace for pretty much the remainder of high school. It was difficult for me to stay happy. And I actually had a recurring nightmare where I would actually be out and about for whatever reason, and I would wind up getting hit by a car. And then I would wind up waking up in a hospital bed, hooked up to life support, with literally no one around. No doctors, no family members, no friends, nothing. And while I'm sitting in that bed, I just remember hearing the heart meter going and starting to increase in speed, and then finally flatlining, and that's usually around the point where I would wake up. So I was in a very, very bad headspace. I already know what that dream meant. I'm scared of dying alone. Well, I'm scared of dying, I'm scared of being alone, I'm scared of being forgotten. Those are like my 3 biggest fears, and they pretty much all culminated into one entire dream because of the events that happened. And I'm not trying to hold anything against this person. We're still friends. We don't talk a lot because we've drifted apart, but every now and then we will see each other out at church, and we're cool with each other. Like, we don't have any grudges. I respect her decision to come forth and tell me that she wasn't looking for a relationship. I just wish that she would have been honest from the get-go. But I definitely understand why she did it. She did not want to hurt my feelings, and I can definitely understand that. So that was the closest I ever came to being in a relationship. I've had a couple smaller, I don't know what to call them. I don't want to call them crushes, but I have had other girls that I've hung out with, and the thought occurred, hey, maybe a relationship could come out of this, but nothing really came of it. One time in middle school when we were having a dance, that day in class, the day before the dance actually started, someone said that if I wanted to slow dance with them, I could. I did. I don't even remember this person's name. That was probably the closest I'd ever come to, like, actually embracing a female. Apart from just, like, giving Teresa hugs. I'm a very huggy person, and me and her are very close. Even though we don't talk much, I know that if we were to ever actually come back together and talk, we would be very, very close. Because we went through pretty much the rest of our beginning of our lives together, and I'm very thankful that I met her. I'm very, very thankful that I met Teresa. A final kind of thing that I had going on was when I was a drum major my senior year of high school, there was a girl on the color guard team. We'll call her Sarah. And Sarah asked me if I wanted to go to homecoming with her. And I said, sure, why not? That'll be something to do. I had actually never gone to homecoming. I'd never gone to prom because I had bad experiences with school dances because of middle school. Because I would go, I'd be all alone. People would be dancing, and I would just be all alone, not enjoying myself. The music was garbage, too. I'm someone who enjoys, like, 70s through early 2000s music. The stuff that people play on the radio nowadays, and the kind of music people listen to, I just think it's absolute garbage. I really, really hate it. I'm definitely a Billy Joel, Queen, David Bowie, Elton John person. I love all those artists. But anyways, we went to homecoming, and both of us hated the dance floor. Once again, it was just awful music. Like, you couldn't dance to it, and the entire dance floor was literally just grinding. Like, I hated it. We both hated it. It was so loud we couldn't even talk. We had to text standing right next to each other. And the entire night we pretty much just sat in the cafeteria and talked. It's probably a good thing because that night someone actually wound up having a seizure in the gym where the dance was going on. So we didn't have to deal with that. And we just kept talking. We talked the night away. And it was nice. I also went over to their house for a Halloween party once. I haven't talked with them pretty much ever since that Halloween party. We kind of drifted apart. I don't know how Sarah's doing, but it was nice being able to talk with them. They were a good person. But yeah. Really, if I'm being totally honest, now that I'm in college, I don't really have any crushes apart from Teresa. And even then, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm debating whether or not I should just cut it off. Because I don't know if they... I just don't know what to do. I don't know if it's healthy to maintain these feelings because of our current situation where we can't really talk with each other. But yeah, apart from that, I really don't have any love interests. And looking forward, I'm starting to just kind of feel contempt with the idea of me never ever getting into a relationship, never marrying. Because honestly, at this point, I don't feel like I really need it. Going back to my high school year, my senior year of high school, even though it was nice graduating and it felt like a giant weight was off my shoulders, I was still very, very, very depressed. Once again, I was actually contemplating suicide, and then I wound up meeting my one closest group of friends that I've ever made online. They're basically a family to me. They're all incredible people. They support each other. They support me. I support them. And when I found them, they pretty much reminded me that life is worth living. That no matter what, you'll find someone. You'll find a group that you connect with. You'll find that special someone you've been waiting for. And honestly, if I could spend the rest of my life with them in kind of like a communal life living situation, I'd be content with that. As long as I'm surrounded by people who I love and appreciate, not even in a romantic way, just in a kind of camaraderie, a connected way, kind of like a family, I'd be totally fine with that. I definitely feel like communal living for me is going to be the way to go. That way I'm not living alone. That way I can still talk with people. I can still share my life experiences with someone. I feel like communal living is the way for me to go. I don't know if that'll happen, but that's pretty much my dream. And if a relationship winds up coming out of something, hey, that's a bonus. Man, I honestly don't know why I decided to make this video, but here we are. I just kind of felt like talking about my experience with love. It hasn't necessarily been a negative thing, but at the same time, it hasn't been a positive thing. And hearing friends who are in relationships, hearing people say, oh my gosh, it's such a headache, don't do it, and even seeing my parents kind of fight and bicker, it's kind of confusing as to whether or not I do want to pursue a relationship. My father especially says that he has a ton of friends from college that have never married, they have a ton of money, they enjoy life, they hook up with anyone they like, and they just move on with their life. I don't necessarily want to do that. I'm not... That's something else. I'm a guy, I do get turned on by things, but at the same time, I'm not looking to hook up and just do it with anyone I come across. And that's weird, especially because my father is always... whenever we're together and he sees someone who like has a good body, he's like, hey, they're kind of cute, aren't they? And I just kind of look and I'm like, whatever. And he's surprised about that because I understand that that's something that most guys appreciate. They like looking at women, but I don't know, that's just not me. So yeah, there's no real form factor to this video. I just felt like talking about my love life, really. So, and that's actually one final thing. I still have friends. I have, like, my online group of friends that I hang out with and talk with. But up at college, I don't actually really have many close friends. My freshman year, as I said in my last TOT episode, I do still talk with people. Like, I lived on a dorm floor, and I know people. I'm familiar with people. They are my friends, but they're not super close. And my sophomore year, since I transferred to being a commuter, since my college is like 30 minutes away from my house, really, I haven't really talked with many people, and I haven't really made many friendships. So, that's kind of weird. People say that you go to college to meet up and talk with people and make new friends who you're going to take with you throughout the rest of your life, but that hasn't really happened for me. I'm not depressed about that. I'm not upset about that at all. I just find it a little strange that people who I haven't ever been able to really talk with in person and like actually like show physical affection, like giving them hugs and actually being there with them, how they're the closest friends I have, and how they're the people who I would like to hang out with. They're the people I want to spend the rest of my lives with in communal living. It's unbelievable. And I have pretty much FaceTime with all of them. I know who they are. 2 of them live down in Florida. One lives in Great Britain. 2 or 3 live up in Canada. 1 lives in Maryland. So they're, oh my god, they're all incredible people. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. This is supposed to be about my love life. Yeah, I think that pretty much does it for this video. So, like I said, love is a strange thing. I know jack shit about love. All I know is that there's only really been one person in my life that I've ever really thought about sharing a future with. And I'm still debating whether or not I should go for it, pursue this feeling, or if I should just break it off because there's really no reciprocation or opportunity to show reciprocation for each other. Alright, well, anyways, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is the Drum Major, and you all know the drill. I hope you have a great day, and expect a lot more videos now that I'm on summer vacation.